I'm Shikeu Ijyuin. I'm a torture sommelier. I help people get true justice. I got to meet all kinds of people in this line of work.
Mr. Ijyuin.
Kazutani, what brings you here? One day, one of my informants came to see me.
Could you come with me? I want you to meet someone.
I usually went to him, so this was a surprise to me. Why can't you bring this person here? Usually the client came to see me.
He's in the hospital. He barely made it out alive.
I see. Makes sense. So I headed out. Is this him?
Yeah.
My client was lying in bed. He was hurt pretty bad. So you'll help me get revenge? I wonder what happened to him. Well then, tell me what happened. We had no time to waste. Then he said to me, "These guys killed my daughter. I want them dead!" He wanted blood. Then Kazutani said,
His name is Makimura. He used to be a client of mine. He's hurt, so I'll tell you what happened.
But then... No. I'll tell him myself. Then he started talking. Makimura-san was a few years away from retirement.
See you later, Dad!
Be safe, stay out of trouble. He lived with his daughter.
Don't worry, I'm a cop.
She was a police officer. My client lost his wife due to illness many years ago. I'll always be there for you.
Love you, Daddy.
He raised her single-handedly. Then one day...
Daddy, I want to be a police officer.
Oh, I see. Why? He was a bit worried.
I want to protect everyone, just like you did for me.
But he could tell she really wanted this. A few years later, she became an officer of the law.
How do I look?
Amazing! I'm so proud of you! He was very proud of her. But then about a year later...
Officers at the Otsu police box were assaulted earlier tonight.
Something terrible happened. What? Otsu police box. That's where his daughter worked. They were assaulted by this gang called Kibura. Die, pig!
Hey!
Come here!
They were led by these two guys named Mikushiba and Yamada. Your girl is hot!
Come here, bitch!
These guys were out of control. A female cop! This should be fun.
Come on, let's get out of here!
Now I'm untouchable! Then they stole the guns from the officers. My client went to the cops right away. Is my daughter okay?
So, we don't know much yet, but we'll find it.
According to my informant... Hey, come here, girl!
Huh?
They had a little run-in with them before the incident.
Stop it! Back away or I'll arrest you both.
Who the hell are you?
Come on, we're just being friendly, that's all.
She saved this girl from them. Then she said to them...
Those with real strength. They protect the weak. You guys are cowards. Go home!
But then... What did you say?
Dude, she's a cop! Let's just go!
They weren't happy. That bitch! Ah!
What do you want to do?
I know. Why don't we assault the police box she works at?
Sounds fun.
They couldn't let it go, so... They decided to strike back. After they snatched her up, they brought her back to their hideout. What now, bitch? Huh? They were relentless. They beat her for hours. But she was still a cop, and she took pride in her work.
Cowards! You guys are weak, and you know it. Do what you will.
She stood her ground. But this only made things worse. You still don't get it, do you? Take off her clothes! You're dead, bitch!
Come here.
After that, they violated her for hours. Then, 3 days later...
Stop!
Sorry, I gotta do this. They were ready to execute her. If you wanna live, apologize to me. Take back what you said. Then I'll let you live. She was a strong woman, but she had no choice.
I'm sorry. I take it all back. You're not cowards.
She finally cracked and gave in to their demands. But they didn't keep their end of the deal. I don't think you meant that. Time to die!
What? No!
You believed him?
They had no intentions to let her live. Die, pig! Burn in hell! Then he shot her point blank in the head. 4 days after she went missing, they found her body in the dumpster. My client couldn't believe it. No! Izumi! No!
Ugh.
He was devastated. The cops were furious.
We'll get him.
She was a cop, so they weren't gonna let them get away with this. So my client, please do. He decided to let the cops handle this. But then... Die!
What? This is much easier with a gun.
A few days later, a jewelry store got robbed at gunpoint. And the gun they used? It was the stolen gun from the other day.
What kind of cop gets their gun stolen?
Although pathetic.
People started pointing fingers at my client's daughter. After that, the chief of police made a formal apology on live TV.
We're truly sorry. We'll make sure something like this never happens again.
Why are you letting them blame Izumi for this? She was doing her job! Makimura-san was shocked. He could no longer trust the cops. Screw them. He decided to take matters into his own hands. He started looking for information. Tell me everything you know, I've got money.
Sounds good.
He used his savings to gather intel. Then he met Kazetani.
I remember that incident. That was tragic. And the cops threw her under the bus, making it look like it was her fault.
Who did this to her? I need to know!
Don't worry. I already have an idea who's responsible.
This guy was good. Meanwhile, I heard the girl's dad is sniffing around.
We should do something about that.
They were on to him. Then, a few days later, so, you got anything for me? But then,
You're being followed. We gotta go.
out of nowhere, they showed up from the back alley. You looking for us?
Time to die.
It was them. You little... Kazetani showed him pictures of them so he recognized them right away. That means the gun in their hands. Then they raised their guns. You die now!
Ugh.
They wanted them both dead. But then...
Wow.
My client jumped in front of the informant to protect him. But the guys kept shooting. Die, bitch!
We're unstoppable.
Then... They filled him with lead. Kazetani set up his security alarm right away. Damn it!
Whatever, that guy is dead, so let's bounce.
They ran off.
Akamura-san! Why did you jump in front of me?
Kazetani-san, that gun was my daughter's. Then, she wanted to protect and serve the people. I couldn't let them use her gun to hurt the innocent like that. That's why he jumped in front of the bullet. After that, Kazetani brought him here.
He saved my life, so I wanted to help him.
I see. Then he grabbed my hand. Please avenge her! He was wounded, but he still had a firm grip. It's been a lifelong dream to become a cop. Then he showed me something. It was a toy police badge and a picture of his daughter. Then... She didn't deserve this! She just wanted to help people! But they killed her like an animal! They need to go! He wanted blood. My mind was already made up. Don't you worry, I got this. Thank you. Then he passed out. Kazetani told me he'd look after him.
The doctor said he might not make it. He saved me, so I'm gonna stay by his side.
Okay. These guys killed an innocent woman for nothing. Animals. I'm gonna make them suffer. By the time I'm done with you, you're gonna be begging me for the gift of death. Then when I got back to the office, this is a nice surprise.
I heard you were looking into that case.
It was Kyogoku Sengoku, a yakuza who worked for the Kyogoku family.
I know where they're at. I'll take you there, but you owe me one, deal?
He was a very violent man.
Say bye to your tongue! Ah!
He was relentless against his enemies.
They've been causing a lot of trouble on our turf, so we want them gone as well.
I see. He already knew where their hideout was, so he just saved me a lot of time. A few days later...
Is this it?
Yeah, the cops don't come around this area much, so this is where they hide out.
Kibara was a relatively small gang. Then...
Die! Boy!
he knocked out the first guy within seconds. Then he started spraying the other guy with a bottle of shampoo.
Time to wash your hair! Boy!
But it was no ordinary shampoo.
Oh, better put these on.
Then...
Here we go, it's acid! Ah!
he started pouring acid on his head. Then he started rubbing the melted scalp with his hands.
How'd you like that? Boy!
Interesting. I should try that sometime. He was very good. These guys were no match for Sengoku.
Die! Stay down! Boy!
He managed to take them out within minutes. Then I found Mikoshiba and Yamada. Who are you?
Shoot him!
Not so fast. They were too slow. I got behind them and... that gun isn't yours. Good night. We're out of here. Thanks, Sengoku.
Your thing. Have fun.
I like this guy. Hopefully I'll get to see him again. So we took him back to the torture chamber. Get up!
Wake up!
The room smelled terrible, but we had to make these guys suffer, so... then they started screaming. Where are we? It stinks!
Ugh, what's that smell?
Shut up! One last question before we move on. So, you killed an innocent police officer for nothing. You work for that bitch? These guys just don't learn. Stop talking. Oh! They seemed hungry, so I started feeding them. Eat up!
Ah!
I started filling their mouths with feces. Then... what the hell did we do? This is all her fault! She should have never crossed us!
Yeah, and we had a great time with her. She was awesome in bed.
Okay, I've heard enough. Time to get started. Okay, come on, Rukawa.
Here you go.
Rukawa handed me a bow and arrow. Then, I aimed at his arm. Ouch!
Nice shot.
Next, the guy started screaming. I started shooting the arrows into their limbs. Ah!
Ah!
Then, what the? It smells!
Maggots.
It was no ordinary arrow. They invented this method back in ancient China.
The feces will infect the wound, and soon you'll be suffering from sepsis.
Rukawa said to them with a big smile. I wanted to make them suffer for as long as possible, so... Rukawa, go get him.
Yes, sir!
I decided to move on to the next torture. Rukawa came back with Himuro, an underground doctor I work with.
Arrows covered with feces, huh? Damn.
Not bad, right?
I heard these guys really pissed you off.
Then he walked over to them. Then he started giving them an infusion.
This is an antibiotic. It'll help with the wound.
Huh? You mean I get to live? Not quite.
Are you stupid? We're doing this because we want to make you suffer for as long as possible.
No! His job was to keep the victims alive for as long as possible. After that, we started shooting arrows at them again.
Stay still.
We had to be careful not to hit any vital organs. They were in terrible pain. Please!
I'm sorry.
They started begging us for mercy. But I said to them, you guys aren't cowards, right? Then stop whining. Huh? If you guys can prove to me that you're not cowards, then I'll let you go. I decided to give them one last chance. But then, this is nothing! You don't scare me!
If you want to kill us, you'll have to do better than that.
Idiots. Is that supposed to impress me?
Here you go, sir.
Well then, I guess we'll just have to keep trying. Huh?
I thought you said.
I had no intentions of letting them go. You really thought I'd let you go? Idiots. Don't die on me now. I'm just getting started. Ah! No! I wanted to make them suffer for as long as possible. Then, 13 hours later. Hey! Wake up!
Make sure to clean the equipment really well. Feces are full of bacteria. Of course!
They finally died. And my client? He woke up from his coma and the doctor said he was gonna live.
It's Ijyuin, son. It's done.
Thank you. He was a strong man. Good to hear. I was relieved to hear the good news. He lost his only daughter, so I can only imagine what he's going through, but...
Thank you, Mr. Ijyuin. If you ever need anything, just ask.
Thanks, Kazutani. Hopefully this will give him some kind of closure and help him move on with his life.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out our other videos. And please subscribe to the channel.